Good afternoon, my name is Vladimir Tyan and today we are going to cook St. Louis pork ribs in a beer sauce using American pork. These are the kind of ribs we get. On the inside of the ribs there is a membrane. By carefully removing it, we effectively allow the delicious marinade to thoroughly soak in much better, and subsequently, when baking, the succulent ribs absolutely won't shrink down at all. And they'll be juicier. Just like that. Next, we marinate our ribs. Crushed black pepper. Don't be stingy with the freshly ground pepper. Generously add a good amount of salt and then paprika. And give them a massage. Do the same on this particular side. Massage everything very thoroughly and completely. These are the delicious ribs we ultimately end up with. Put them in the fridge to marinate for 3 to 4 hours. Our ribs have marinated in the fridge for 3 hours. Now we're going to prepare them for baking. After taking them out of the fridge, it's best to leave the ribs uncovered at room temperature for at least 20 to 30 minutes so they can breathe. We're using foil. Foil, as you know, typically has two distinct sides, and the shiny reflective side should always be facing inwards, towards the food. Inside the aluminum foil, we carefully lay down a sheet of parchment paper. We then gently place our perfectly marinated ribs on top of this entire setup, ensuring they are well positioned. Then we carefully wrap them, first in a layer of protective parchment paper, and then securely in a sheet of durable aluminum foil, ensuring they are completely covered and sealed. We put them in the oven for an hour and a half at 160 degrees, and while our marinated St. Louis ribs are baking, we'll prepare a beer sauce. For this delicious recipe, we'll definitely need about 100 grams of a finely chopped onion, 3 plump cloves of fresh garlic, a generous squeeze of rich ketchup, a good pinch of salt of course, a dash of savory oyster sauce, a dollop of tangy Dijon mustard, a drizzle of sweet honey, and finally 500 grams of a robust dark stout beer. First, carefully turn on the pan and then proceed to pour in approximately 50 to 60 grams of good quality olive oil. While the pan with the olive oil is gently heating up on the stove, we will take this opportunity to finish chopping the remaining onion into smaller pieces. Once the oil is sufficiently warm, we will then begin the process of sautéing the chopped onion until it becomes soft and translucent. Following that, we will also chop the fresh garlic cloves, preparing them to be added to the sautéing onion to enhance the flavors of the dish. 3 average-sized cloves of garlic, which is approximately 12 to 15 grams in weight. The onion is almost sautéed, so we add the garlic. First, the aromatic onion and pungent garlic are carefully sautéed in a pan until they become wonderfully translucent and fragrant. Now let's proceed to meticulously add the essential ingredients to this flavorful base. Precisely 100 grams of rich tangy tomato ketchup, followed by 30 grams of flavorful mustard, precisely 20 in total. We start with 25 grams of savory oyster sauce, followed by 30 grams of sweet floral honey. Mix all these ingredients together gently for a moment, ensuring they are well combined. Then we will incorporate 500 grams of rich dark beer into the mixture. a generous bit of freshly ground black pepper and a little fine sea salt. Then gently simmer for at least half an hour on a very low heat setting. Our ribs have been baking at 160 degrees for an hour and a half. Now we'll open them up. The ribs are almost ready. Now we'll glaze them with our sauce. Let's brush them generously. This is specifically designed to give our delicious ribs a truly rich beer flavor and a wonderfully appealing crispy crust. Now, with great care, we gently put our freshly brushed ribs back into the preheated oven at a precise 200 degrees Fahrenheit for an initial 10 minutes, and then we meticulously repeat this entire process exactly twice more to achieve the perfect result. That is, after 10 minutes, we'll take them out again, brush them with our sauce again, and add another 10 minutes at 200 degrees in the oven. Our ribs were baked for an hour and a half at 160 degrees, then we brushed them with a dark beer sauce. We set the oven to 200, baked for 10 minutes, and repeated the process once more. We brushed them with the sauce a second time and baked for another 10 minutes. Here's how our ribs turned out. Now we're going to plate the dish. Let's carefully trim a generous bit of fresh, vibrant microgreens to thoughtfully add a delightful touch of verdant freshness to our beautifully prepared dish. Here is our magnificent dish. Perfectly baked St. Louis pork ribs, expertly made from premium American pork. They're now completely ready, wonderfully served with a rich, dark beer sauce that complements them perfectly. Enjoy your meal.